Have you ever noticed that summers tend to get more hotter than they do in the past? Have you ever seen that we're having more extreme weather as of late in the past few years? Well, there's a reason for this. It's because in today's modern world, humanity is facing one of its biggest problems. And that biggest problem? Global warming. Now, global warming is the gradual increase of Earth's atmospheric temperatures that is caused by the accumulation of levels of carbon dioxide, chlorofluorocarbons, and other pollutants that go into the air. And this will ultimately affect our way of life here on the planet because our planet will constantly change because of this global warming. But but many people aren't that concerned about it. Think that it's nothing we can do about it. While others think otherwise, that this is alarming and it should be done. Something should be done about this. So this raises a question and an inquiry. Should global warming and in extension climate change should be taken seriously? Well, let's first start off with the people's opinion on how they feel about this matter. In an article in 2012 called "The Shifting Public Opinion on Climate Change," where they were three professors of three different universities of Drexel, McGill, and Ohio State. He conducted an analysis that stems from January 2002 all the way to December 2010 and of people's opinion on the matter. And over the years, there was an influctuation on the opinions. In 2006, there was a 26 respondents that says that it's something to be concerned about, and then in 2007, and there was a 48 increase of concern, but by 2010, and there was a drop of 28%. And overall, well, and the overall conclusion of this analysis states that many people will feel that global warming or any environmental issues are ranked at the bottom of concerns. It could be that some people feel like that we us human activities have nothing to do with global warming. This could stem from in a 1980s article written by Richard A. Kerr called "Global Warming is Real," where it tells about oh, how how huge cities like New York and Chicago emit what is called an urban heat island, this means that cities experience much warmer temperatures as compared to rural areas. So when researchers did climate records, it caused errors and fluctuations and inconclusive evidence. However, one scientist named Carl suggests otherwise, saying that even if that is the case, even if it is urban heat islanding, it still causes global warming to expand. However, no one takes skepticism further than now former President Donald Trump, who is known for ignoring all the facts and considering everything as a hoax or fake news, as he calls it. It has come to the point where one of his first actions in office back in 2018 was to get America off the present Paris Agreement Accord, which is an association that deals with climate change and how to make necessary changes just to combat it and to at the very least delay the effects. But many people no doubt argue with him against it. In fact, there's an article called "Meet the Man Who Told Trump Climate Change is Real," where it tells California Cabinet Secretary Wade Crawford challenging Trump on his misleading comments on climate change. Now, as we all know, California is known for having its uh, extreme wildfires due to its longer drought, and thus when lightning strikes the ground, it causes wildfire to spread. In fact, 2020 saw its most extreme case of wildfire ever. And then Trump just waved it off, saying that it'll just cool down. It's nothing to worry about. Only for Crowfoot to comment at which science agreed with you. And this caused an impromptu but viral conflict between the two discussing on the matter. But despite all the controversy, despite all the skepticism, climate change is indeed something to be concerned about because an article by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change suggests that scientists are now more than ever that there is a link between human activity and climate change, and many organizations agree with it. In fact, there is an article called called "Effects of Global Warming," where David Herring and Rebecca Lindsay wrote a short article about how thousands of weather stations from all over the world will have collected data of daily temperatures for more than a century. Here, and this is the data that suggests that climate change is real. Uh, Here's a graph stems from 1880 to 2019. As we know, that 1880 is where urbanization is at its minimal, and as you can see, from 1940, there's a fluctuation of increase and decrease in temperatures. However, up until nearly to 1980, we see a major increase in Earth's surface temperature. And from this study, it has been determined that the Earth's surface temperature has increased by 1.8% degrees. You started out. Now, many people suggest that, it took over 100 years for it to get that high. But let's remember, this is from 1880, where industrialization is at its minimal. And as over the centuries, urbanization has taken more and more of an increase, which means more carbon is emitted going up into the air, more pollutants are making our planet warmer than it should. And if this increases, then the rate of the Earth's temperature will also increase. And a short article by the NOAA Climate suggests that if global warming continues, it will affect the ecosystem's ability to provide cultural and economical important services to us, such as timber, water supply, livestock, fisheries, and hunting. Because as global warming increases, it will affect how animals and plants will adapt to this. So, like take marine life for instance, they will move to cooler waters, thus making fishing for them, like lobsters or halibut or any marine life, that much harder and difficult to find. Another instance is the extreme weather. We're having hotter summers. We're having more rainfall, more tsunamis and hurricanes. It's all there. Then there's the melting of the snow and ice covers, like in Greenland or North Pole, and they're steadily decreasing, which will affect the living conditions for animals like polar bears and seals that live there that need the ice to survive. And as the ice melts, this also causes ocean levels to increase, and this causes coastal areas like California, New York, Maryland to slowly be taken over by oceans, and soon we'll be under it. And also, as oceans get warmer, it'll also affect other structures, such as this one right here, where there's a comparison where coral reefs will start bleaching. This will affect how marine life will live there. And if the coral is gone, then marines will have to look somewhere else, and they may not be able to survive if in those areas, or it'll have to take a long time for them to adapt to it. So, with all these evidence, should climate change be taken seriously? I say yes. I do my part. I do my best to do my part every day to ensure that climate change and global warming is at least delayed a bit. It's delayed a bit because researchers have suggested that in less than 11 years, these effects will be permanent and there will be nothing we can do about it. But there's still hope. Hopefully, with President Biden taking the reins, hopefully he will get the country back on track. He's already attempting to get back into the Paris Agreement Accord, and soon and I hope he'll do more about the situation, the entire mess that's been done this past 4 years. I thank you for your time for listening, and I hope you do your part. And whether you believe me or not, I hope for those who do believe me, I hope you're doing your part to slow down global warming. Thank you.